Let's watch this for a little bit, and then I'll do ban appeals and also PO box after this. Okay.
Give me your money.
Oh my gosh.
Blah blah blah.
Hey Zeke, I'm riding in the back of a pickup.
Let me just like let me change my title to I say. This is the part of the broadcast where I switch over to my phone and watch the video simultaneously while you guys watch it on here. Is anyone joining you for banana peels? I think Cutie said she would be down. I asked Pokimane to join, and she was down to do it, but I don't know what she's doing today. We were going to do a double banana peels. Like she was going to join mine, and I was going to join hers. Tomorrow, 12 PST is the premiere of the biggest cooking collab to ever showcase on Twitch. Will Neff, Cutie Cinderella. Oh shit. Yeah, Cutie just Cutie DM me. I'd love to have her on. When you get to banana peels, I screen 50 of the oldest ones and 50 of the newest ones, sort by old. Okay, hell yeah. Bringing guests, I see, becoming more misgive. I fucking threatened him, dude. I gotta juice up my content. My man's got Amaranth locked down, who ironically wanted me to do banana peels with her, which I should have done. I'm not gonna watch the Face K video. We'll see. Maybe I'll have special guests on for the banana peels. Okay. Why would you not do that? Why would I not like do more collaborations? It's just like I'm not good at it. I feel weird asking people to come on. And then I feel weird because it's not fucking easy to, honestly, I don't think it's easy to manage like streamers when you have streamers on. I think it's kind of hard. So I don't know. I just like don't have full control over the content. So I feel like it's not great.
Hope I can come back to the community and resub sometime soon. Hassle.
Thank you, Socialist Girl, for the 5 gifted subs. All right, let's get
started.
started.
Through a prepper community, and I'm trying to figure out if we should be afraid of the end of the world. So,
I have been, to one degree or another, preparing for my entire life. The Father God is calling his people to the Ozarks.
Demons and angels are real, and Jesus wasn't a pussy.
People in the year 1000 thought the world was ending. People who saw the plague thought the world was ending. I think it's more relevant to your life to look at what could be a natural disaster for you personally.
in New York City, nobody knows how to do anything. You don't have to use a lot of survival skills.
Turn your left arm. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! You're dying, hurry up!
We have a phrase we use, I can be your best friend or your worst enemy. You get to pick. Clearly, we are gun positive, but I like to say we're not gun crazy.
Are Doomsday preppers right? Brink of a worldwide mysterious monoliths have been appearing. Gun taxes have plagued California.
As clickbait headlines warp our view of the world, we're going down the rabbit hole to ask, how afraid should we really be? On this episode, Doomsday.
Store shelves nationwide are dwindling or totally empty.
FEMA admits failures occurred in its disaster response to Hurricane Maria.
A ransomware attack forced a vital U.S. pipeline offline over the weekend.
There's a lot of fear on the news these days. With global pandemic, raging natural disasters, and a fragmenting republic, we've been forced to think about a possible scenario where our institutions collapse. I started hanging around the corners of the internet where Doomsday preppers congregate, and I stumbled upon the Viking Preparedness YouTube and Patreon channels.
The world is going crazy!
What intrigued me about the former Green Beret turned pastor, Joe Fox, was his caffeine-fueled sense of urgency.
Preparedness is a biblical concept. You have to take steps now. If you're not ready, you're in trouble.
He also scared the shit out of me when I told him I lived in New York City.
You know, there are 2 cities in the United States that I firmly believe are going to get nuked, and one of them is New York City.
Feeling rather unsafe in my own home, I went to meet Pastor Joe to learn more about his lifestyle, which did seem a little extreme to me. But I also wanted to see what I could do in my own life to be more prepared.
Welcome to Shofar Mountain.
Hey, good to meet you, man.
You too.
I brought you some coffee from New York
You're a
because
great American.
I know you. I see you drinking coffee every morning, big
do.
sips of coffee.
I
So
do. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. This is Shofar Mountain.
Okay.
It started out as an intentional community. We wanted to live in a way that would allow us to get closer to God. And it has become what was known in the vernacular as a prepper retreat.
And so everybody who lives on here is Shofarians.
All people who live here are Shofarians, but not all Shofarians live here.
Okay.
Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yes, absolutely.
We call ourselves Shofarians. It's just a whimsical term we came up with.
Oh, it's a great term. I love it. So how many people live with you up here on Shofar Mountain?
That is classified.
Okay, all
but
right.
A few.
A few. I mean, can we say
A few families.
more than a few families, more than a dozen families?
A few families.
Okay. All right. All right. As a security measure, Pastor Joe was repeatedly vague with some of my more specific questions.
We call it operational security. Those are classified. I won't tell you.
Okay. Okay. What happens if somebody came in here? Would you just kind of stop them here and say, "Hey"?
We have stopped people in the past, and honestly, I think I'm a pretty nice guy. I mean, as things go, I'm an asshole with trespassers.
This is a good time. What can we ask you what you have on your hip here?
I mean, I'm just carrying a handgun. It's a Glock.
Well, you carrying a Glock? Okay.
Yeah. Everybody carries Glocks.
Are you always armed? Or
Yeah.
You never leave house? Never leave the house?
I never go anywhere without a gun.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Just don't point the muzzle at anybody.
Okay. I asked Pastor Joe to show me some of his firearms.
I'll have to come back.
Okay. Let's do this load.
I have too many guns to carry in one trip. That makes me a survivalist.
And as always, he was elusive in his answers. Can I ask you how many guns you have?
Enough. I'll be back.
Okay. But he was willing to show me a basic prepper's firearm kit. Wow. Okay. So this is an assortment of...
Prepper firearms.
Okay, and it's not your full inventory. This is enough of your This is enough.
It's enough to get the point across, I
Okay.
think. And these are the types of firearms that someone who's relatively serious about preparedness would probably have.
I think with a lot of folks today, they might just say, "Oh, I've got a Glock and I'm good to go," or "I've got an AR-15, I'm good to go." Why do you have such?
Well, they're all tools.
Okay.
And they all have a purpose. And while you can drive a screw into a piece of wood with a hammer, it's not the best tool to do that with.
Sure.
Right.
You could do everything with an AR-15, right? It could be
So-
home defense. It could be
Yeah,
hunting.
I mean, technically, you could kill any animal in North America with a 22. I mean, honestly. But when it comes to a fight, if you have to shoot a lot of bullets and reload, you need the ability to have a magazine-fed weapon that you can reload fast. And so that's why I have it.
Pastor Joe invited me to join some other Shofarians at their shooting range to learn more about why they train.
Cody is our range officer. I'm going to be the safety officer.
So we're just going to start with pistols, focus on the fundamentals. Give me one shot and we'll do that a couple times.
We're good guys. I think you're probably a good guy. We don't get to pick when bad things happen. Bad guys get to pick.
Okay, first of all, this is literally just like, I mean, this happened already. It's called Waco, okay? Like pastor with a bunch of gun-toting followers. Like, are you kidding me? It's literally Waco. This is Waco 2.0. Okay? I mean, the only difference is this guy also is charismatic. But the only difference here is that, like, he seems a little bit more chill. We all know how that fucking ended, for the record. I guess he's not selling guns.
Right? You and I aren't going to walk around.
It's like Waco if instead of like illegally trafficking arms, you were selling like your survival kit or something.
Start stuff with anybody. But we don't control the bad guy. And we train everybody.
Take your time, look at the sights.
As I watched some impressive shooting skills, and even got a brief lesson on how to aim an unloaded AR-15.
You want to lean into the rifle. Almost like, if you ever played football?
Yeah. Well,
right.
No, I didn't. Sorry.
Okay.
I've seen it done before.
Right. Very similar to that.
I still couldn't quite understand what exactly they were preparing for. What scenarios create these so-called bad guys? What do you think about and you go, oh, I got my eye on that?
Well, we're biblically focused. And so in the Bible, we can read about the end times. And we believe we could be on the cusp of that. And if that happens, it's chaos. Society will break down. There's at least 2 places in the United States that are going to be nuked. It's biblical, and New York City is one of them. And it'll happen like that. Somebody maliciously takes down our power grid. Some really smart computer guys are like, tick, 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 tick. Well, what do you do in America with no electricity? Think about it. America would go into chaos. And our response to COVID, I'm not real impressed with. I was raised with just that whole, we need to be ready for things we can't control. And then I went in the military, I was in special forces, I've been all over the world. I've seen things that fall apart, and I see how people who are prepared for it can roll with the changes and do okay, and people who are just like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened, they just get dealt with, and I don't want to be dealt with.
As part of not being dealt with, Shofar Mountain is based on a homestead model, which stresses the importance of self-sufficiency. The property includes multiple bug-out cabins to serve as modest shelters when shit hits the fan.
This will probably end up being like a bedroom of some kind. It'll get finished. They're small, but it beats a tent.
Some more permanent residences for Joe's family.
So there's 6 people who sleep in here.
And there's some kind of big bed theory or something. I don't think they're doing that anymore, but like they're a very tight family.
An active garden.
And this little thing here is fennel. It's really sweet and kind of, you know what it tastes like.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Oh my gosh.
And lots of stockpiled goods, including these buckets and barrels of food.
Beans, rice, corn, stuff like that. And we've done the math, so you could think of 2 of these as basically a year's supply of food for one person.
You know, before you said on the porch, you said you're I think you said a hardcore prepper, I think is that the term you used?
Okay.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, I guess there's a spectrum, right? I think a prepper would probably have a couple months worth. So, you know, they've got a little bit of food, they've got some gadgets, they have a bug out bag. Okay, that's a prepper. We're at the other end of the spectrum. We're trying to be self-sufficient. I call us neo-pioneers, kind of like the Amish with guns.
The Amish with guns, that's
Yeah,
it, okay,
right.
okay.
Finally, Pastor Joe showed me the newly added longhouse, which serves as a meeting place for the congregation he leads.
I've seen this building in your videos here.
Right. We have our services in here, but we also have like community classes in here.
I knew the Shofarians believed in Jesus, who they call Yeshua, but there were several instances of Judaism I couldn't quite wrap my head around.
We've got Hebrew writing here.
Yep,
and,
Shema Israel.
And the shofar here.
Yeah.
But you still talk about the Bible. So
Yep.
what exactly is...
You want to know about my religion?
Yeah, I guess
there
so.
You go.
Yes.
Okay, so we firmly believe, and when I say believe, it's too small of a word. We know. God, the Father, laid down the rules that he wants everybody to live by, and that's called Torah, right? So
I always, whenever I see videos like this, I always feel like, bro, you're kind of advertising that, like, people should come directly to where you live and steal your shit the moment things pop off. He's like, dude, we're so good. By the way, this guy wants the world to end so badly. This guy wants the world to end so badly, dude. Okay? But it also feels like he is just, like, you know, advertising for people to come over and steal his shit.
613 rules.
I firmly believe he would nuke New York City if he had a nuke, just to fucking prove that, you know, the world is ending.
Live by these rules. And he sent his son, Jesus Christ, who said, follow me, and the whole Christian shtick, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
There, we put the 2 together.
Okay.
Because we don't think there's any difference. We're getting to heaven, if you will, by the grace of God through the blood of Yeshua. That's what we believe.
What makes it so much more advantageous for you to be here in this community?
First of all is the Ozarks. Many people, not just me, have the same feeling that the Father, God, is calling his people to the Ozarks as a place of safety for what's coming. And here's the thing about the Ozarks. We have everything we need, but we don't have anything in abundance that anybody strategically wants to control.
Wanting to get a better sense of how big the Shofarian community was, I drove a few hours south to meet a second group.
We're about to go meet up with TJ, who also goes by Bear Independent. We're at what's known as Bear Camp around here. And he's another kind of satellite campus, if you will, of the Shofarians. One tribe, but multiple camps. I can't say what town we're in, but it's tiny, and it's not a lot going on. Hey man, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, how's it going?
Good morning.
Hello, I'm Zeke. Nice to meet you guys.
How you doing?
My name's TJ Morris, Bear of Bear Independent.
So what's your connection to Shofar Mountain?
There are multiple camps. If you're near to us, then you're in Bear Camp. If you're near to Pastor Joe, then you're in Mountain Camp, so forth and so on.
You got the tattoos, you play the drums, you like your whiskey. You don't strike me as the stereotype of a Bible thumper, of a holy man.
Well, point blank, Jesus wasn't a pussy. Straight up. Everybody in this group would first and foremost acknowledge that Yeshua is Mashiach, that Jesus is the Christ. But there's something deeper here with what we're doing other than the fact that we've all agreed to mutually assist one another if the shit hits the fan, bro. Like, that's great, but I'm not living for Doomsday. I'm living for Tuesday.
Across town, TJ showed me his first aid company that he runs with other members of Bear Camp.
Well, this is Refuge Medical. We are a first aid supply company and training organization.
There are many okay first aid kits. There's a handful of great ones, and ours is one of the great ones.
Does your team have a first aid kit?
We do, in fact, I have it with me.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Oh, where is it?
Yeah,
You want
bring
it?
it.
All right,
I'll
I'll
bring
bring
it.
It's very little. I'm gonna have them look at it. I hope they don't judge us too hard.
Toss it over.
That is a North American Rescue mini fact. It has 2 pairs of gloves, a responder bandage, a tourniquet in it, and some pressure bandage.
He knows.
Wow, you knew exactly just.
I love this guy, okay? I love this guy. Let me just tell you something. I was thinking about how, like, the irony in basically living like the world is going to end, like there is no tomorrow, is so strange if you're not having fun all the time. If you literally spend all of your moments on Earth currently like the world is going to end, and instead of like fucking and doing like everything you can to have fun, you just literally prep for that end, then why the fuck do you want to live anyway? Like, what are you gonna do when everyone's dead? That shit sucks, right? So this guy at least is like having fun, you know what I mean? This guy at least has fun. The other guy, on the other hand, is like living as though, you know, tomorrow is, you know, the world is going to end. But like, let's not have fun. Let's just prep all the time. Check your Instagram messages. Let's do on-band forums together today. I'll shower right now. Yeah, all right, let's do it.
By looking at that, you knew what that
So,
is.
we do this for a living.
Yeah.
You got a timer? Have you ever put a tourniquet on?
You want me to put a tourniquet on you?
Tourniquet, left arm!
Oh,
Hurry up!
Okay.
What's no,
Am I looking at me? I'm tourniqueting myself? Okay.
You're dying! Hurry up!
You're bleeding.
You're dying! Hurry up! Hurry up!
Wait, it's still
Hurry
in the
up!
box, Jay.
Hurry up! Hurry up! We don't get a
That's
lot of
really
advance
being put on the
notice.
spot. Bet you feel this pulse.
See, I got a pulse. I'm still alive, right?
No.
You are all the way dead.
What's our time right now?
He's gonna love this
You have to
feeling.
actually constrict that. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is how tight it should be.
Watch his face.
See that face? Here it is.
How?
See that?
I like the one leg wonder.
Then that goes through, and then this goes across there.
13
You feel the difference?
Wait, what do you feel in my pulse?
Nothing.
You really? Is my arm like?
That's the point.
That's the
it's
point.
supposed to restrict the flow of blood from here down.
If it
Feels
doesn't,
good, right?
Yeah. Can we take it up now?
if it doesn't stop the flow, you haven't saved your life.
And look, you see all the veins?
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
See that? That's
Yeah.
how you know it's working.
Real quick, yes or no? Are you guys afraid of the end of the world?
I'm not afraid of it. No.
Anybody? Anybody here afraid? Okay.
at all.
This is not out of fear. It's not from fear, it's common sense. When you know something is going to happen or you have a reasonable suspicion, why would you not prepare for it?
Anybody who thinks that the government is capable of managing a crisis Hurricane Katrina. It is not physically possible for the government to take care of everybody on a large-scale crisis. Because of those experiences, we've been able to figure out how to address those needs for ourselves, that should something happen, we're not at the mercy of the government.
Now that I had a better understanding as to why the Shofarians valued self-sufficiency, I asked the foxes to show me some basic survival tricks. Sister Kate showed me a day in the life of running a homestead.
So we're going to take this big brush pile down to our chicken run.
Back, boys. Oh, sorry. Oh, no.
And taught me how to milk a goat.
Think of it like a water balloon, and you're squeezing the water out the bottom. There you go. You did it. Look at you. There you go. Perfect.
Oh, wow. That's just amazing. And with that, you can feed yourself. You can have goat's milk. You can have goat cheese. That was lovely.
And considering I don't own a firearm, Pastor Joe showed me how to defend myself against bad guys with some rather unsuspecting objects.
And there's all kinds of things you can do with this. Of course, you can use the teeth. Picture scraping my eyes with it. I can come up here and hit you in the neck like this and rip the face. Use this like a hook and hook them here.
Yeah.
Or somebody's got you like this and you just reach back and go, da, 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 da. Ah. See? See? And it's nothing, right? It's just but it's like, get off of me.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
Like that, so I
and
can step in there. You know, you've got a table full of weapons here, but for self-defense, you don't even need all this. I mean, you're more lethal with the Cove than I am with an AR-15.
They're called environmental weapons.
The more time I spent with the Shofarians, the more I realized how this type of lifestyle was not as extreme as it was prudent.
You know, I'm surprised by how normal everything is here. You and your husband watch Netflix. You both have a really good sense of humor. You're both very charming individuals.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know. I've just I think it's really easy to be able to, on paper, to be like, these people must be some sort of cults out of your minds. I don't know, Waco people or something like that. Sure, exactly. Right? What is the perception that you get from other people, and what's the reality?
Okay, so we've been called Amish mercenaries. We've been called gun-toting Bible zealots. But yeah, I consider us more kind of 50s style mom and dad kind of normal.
Who's to blame for this kind of for troping you out, if you will?
There are movies that would portray people like this as very extreme or just.
Bro, this is literally Waco with better PR. What the fuck's he talking about? Like, they're just... The only difference between this and Waco is that evangelical Christianity and the Doomsday Doomerism has now unironically been normalized to the degree that, like, when you have a cult of people who say that for religious reasons they're preparing for the end of the world, you think, oh, that's just a regular Republican. That's the only difference, okay? It's our mentality of the end of times cults that has changed. We have literally normalized people unironically saying, like, the world's gonna fucking end. Of course they're gonna end. So we just need to get ready and, like, murder everybody. That's it. This guy is so crazy for looking at this and being like, this is so normal. And part of the reason why they're right is because, you know, the world is kind of ending all around us. Capitalism is destroying the fucking planet in very visible ways. Climate change is as well. Some could even say it's accelerated as a consequence of capitalism. So, like, you know, that's the reason.
Add dimension to what we actually are. I mean, all we'd have to do is, you know, be more gun friendly or a little more extreme in our political views, and then you could kind of have an argument for extremism there.
As my time with the Shofarians came to a close, I was ready to return to New York, motivated to ensure my own safety should chaos ensue. I was, however, still having difficulty imagining a life that balances preparedness with paranoia.
You know, for certain folks, it's really easy to sit around and watch the news all day and get really into the survivalist mindset and just say, okay, I'm not gonna interact with this world because it's gonna end any day now, and then just essentially waiting around for
chaos.
When
I will rise and be right. But we should prepare as humans on at least two axes. Chaos could be around the corner, and the other one is you're gonna get old. in a relatively normal society, despite the fact that you don't like the government, it's gonna pretty much go along as it has. And so you ought to have a plan for that besides, buckets of beans and rice and an arsenal of firearms or something. And so you do have to plan on two axes, which means if I have $30 of disposable income, do I buy mutual funds or do I buy rice and beans? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You should do both.
Oof. I can't believe Hermie said that.
Pogo.